Morland. She hesitated. Then her fingers moved swiftly, firmly on the key. No one had to hire him to tell the truth. That would set the wire humming. One message she could count on was from the railroad's division superintendent. It, like others before, would tersely inform Lesley Edwin Morland that he was forthwith no longer an employee of the railroad, and his temporary replacement would arrive on the next train. What would the charges be? She hoped for just drunk and disorderly, though she feared it could be a lot worse. At least he hadn't hit or threatened the much-admired politician. The sounder started again. Lesley left it chattering to hurry to the back door. Shy young Marshal Tawney hung around the depot a lot more than necessary. She was sure he liked her. Maybe he wouldn't lock her father up if she promised to get him out of town quickly. Only where would they go? After this, who would hire Ed Morland as a station agent? In spite of her most dire economies, doctor bills and whiskey devoured her father's salary and the savings she had scrimped from working as a waitress in Kansas City while her father was off at war. His old company, the Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific, had given him a station on his return, but traveling officials found him drunk. This was his fourth job in less than 2 years. It was going to be up to her to earn their living, but right now she had to get him released. Slipping out the door, she almost collided head-on with a leather vest. She was tall, but the owner of the vest was taller. The hands that steadied her were large and strong and confident. They lingered on her upper arms till she drew back, looking from the vest and plaid shirt up a column of brown throat to a lean, hard jaw, long mouth, and eyes the color of a blue norther, a kind of smoky gray. I just want to say, ma'am, that your father's sentiments are mine exactly. The stern mouth softened in a grin. He proffered an arm. I know you're Miss Lesley Morland. I'm Jim Kelly. Let's sashay over to the courthouse. I'd be honored to pay your father's fine. She ignored his arm and set off for the courthouse 2 blocks away. How did you know? She broke off, choked with humiliation. She loved her father. When he was sober, he was the kindest and most entertaining of companions. She thought he was right about the war. But how long had it been since she'd felt proud of him, been glad he was her father? The stranger matched his stride with hers. Some lady was saying what a pity it was that your pa had disgraced you again, and that you're really the one who runs the station. I won't anymore, she said bitterly. I just hope one of our conductor friends will let us ride the train to some place where I can get work. You can't stay here. After this, we've only been here 3 months. Before that, we moved around over Kansas. She clamped her teeth down hard on her lip to keep it from trembling. We don't have any real friends. No need to add that all most Sunflower people knew about them was that Lesley Edwin Morland, usually called Ed, had lost his arm in the war, drank a lot, and refused to go to any of the town's churches, Baptist, Methodist, or Episcopalian. You can make friends, starting with me. His smile made him look like a boy instead of the mature man bespoken by crinkly lines at the edges of his eyes and the strand of white hair above a scar on his right temple that made black hair seem even blacker. Clearwater, the town I'm freighting out of right now, is going to have a railroad real soon. That'll just about put me out of business, and I'll be hunting a new location. But I'll bet there'd be a way for you folks to make a living there. I'll sure put in some good words for you. It's the county seat and trading center for that part of the region. Region? That's what folks used to call all the area south of Dodge City, as far as Tascosa in Texas and Camp Supply in Indian Territory that got their supplies from wagon freighters. Slow travel, but folks along the wagon routes knew and cared about each other, even if they lived 100 miles apart. You can remember that? She had never lived anywhere long enough to feel she had neighbors. After her mother died, when she, Lesley, was 3 years old, Ed Morland searched for something he couldn't find. When seeking an appointment to a different station, though, he made sure there was a school. He didn't understand that it was hard for a strange child to fit in with children who'd grown up together, especially when her dresses weren't nicely starched and ironed, and her hair was tangled in back where she couldn't reach it.